So this question is given as a travel graph to work with. It's talking about a coach travelling between some points. So this will be where Dronston is, and it's going to Lusco. So we're seeing that the journey is going on and on until we get towards Lusco. So it says work out the average speed of the coach in kilometres per hour for the first 10 minutes of the journey. So the first 10 minutes is here. So the average speed, if you remember, well, there's lots of ways of doing this, but the average speed is defined as the total distance travelled divided by the total time taken. Now in this picture, because it's doing it for 10 minutes, then there's actually an easier way to think about it. So in 10 minutes it travelled 9 kilometres, so we can see from the graph that it's the same as 9 kilometres. So we can say 9 kilometres per 10 minutes. It wants it in hours, so we can do an equivalent fraction. So to turn 10 minutes into an hour, we can times by 6. So we are going to times by 6 the numerator, and 9 times 6 is going to be 54 kilometres per hour. If we were going to do the total distance approach, then the total distance would have been 9 divided by 10, but then we'd have had to times by 60 to turn the minutes into hours, because the question wanted the answer in hours, and in doing that calculation we would have ended up with 54 as well. So 54 kilometres per hour will be the answer for that. Now the next part of the question goes on and talks about the coach stops in Lusco for 15 minutes. The coach then returns to Dronston at a constant speed of 42 kilometres per hour. So it's going to be there, that is Lusco. So it travelled from Dronston, stopped for a little while, and then it carried on till it got to Lusco, and Lusco was 21 kilometres away. So what we notice is the question said at a speed of 42 kilometres per hour. So let's take this step by step. So the coach stops in Lusco for 15 minutes, so that means it's a horizontal line, because if it's stopped, time is going on but distance isn't changing. So that's a horizontal line of 15 minutes. And then the coach at a constant speed of 42 kilometres per hour, it's got to travel 21 kilometres. Well, what we should notice is that that's a half of that, so it's going to take 30 minutes. So 42 kilometres equals 1 hour, which is 60 minutes. So we can halve that down, and that'll tell us what we're going to take for the 21 kilometres, because we halve that down, we get 21. So we know then the total journey time is going to be 45 minutes, 30 minutes for the 21 travel, and 15 minutes horizontal. So we go back to the graph, and we look at the scale of the graph and recognise each square is 5 minutes. So we've got to draw a horizontal part for 15 minutes, because that's the time it stays at Lusco. And then we recognise that the next part of the journey was taking another 30 minutes. So at the moment we're here, so 30 minutes on from there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we know that the coach is going to get back to Dronston at that point, and it says it's a constant speed, so therefore we know it's going to be a straight line between those points, because that's what represents a constant speed on travel graphs. So we need to remember then that that means constant speed, and that means we're stopped, stood still. So that would be the answer for that question. We've completed the travel graph, we've taken account of all the information, and we've answered the question expected of us by going through and working out the bits we needed for the time taken for each part of the journey, and ended up with our final answer.